why WWE decided to pursue a longer, I guess you can say, relationship here with
Hey,
the team.
WWE fans. This is Adrenaline Zone, your go-to hub for all things wrestling. Smash that bell and let's dive right into the action. Every now and then, the world of professional wrestling delivers a storyline so emotionally charged, so deeply personal, that it leaves fans stunned and talking for years. This particular chapter involving Triple H and Stephanie McMahon became one of those unforgettable moments. A dramatic twist filled with heartbreak, betrayal, and raw human emotion. Though crafted entirely within the world of WWE storytelling, it drew people in with its powerful themes of trust and loyalty. The King of Kings at the height of his power. At this point in the ongoing narrative, Triple H was portrayed as a dominant figure. He was the King of Kings, a legend with a decorated career, a strategic mind, and a legacy built through sheer determination. He had championships, respect, and a commanding presence both in the ring and behind the scenes. Most importantly, he had Stephanie McMahon by his side, not only as a partner in story, but as someone depicted as integral to his success. A power couple built on trust, or so it seemed for years, the story presented Triple H and Stephanie as an unbreakable force, a duo that conquered challenges together and stood united against any foe. Their alliance blended authority, strategy, and charisma, creating an on-screen partnership fans were drawn to. Whether plotting, scheming, or celebrating victory, they always appeared synchronized. But as this storyline later revealed, even in wrestling's most powerful alliances, cracks can form beneath the surface. The subtle tension. Behind the curtain. Long before the turning point, careful viewers noticed hints that things weren't perfect. Stephanie's expressions during Triple H's promos grew sharper, her tone clipped, her reactions cool. Triple H, as confident and composed as ever, seemed unaware of the shifting dynamic. These were subtle narrative cues suggesting the partnership was under strain, planting the seeds for the emotional upheaval to come. A championship match with everything on the line. The moment of betrayal was set during one of the biggest matches of Triple H's fictional career. This wasn't just a regular bout. It was portrayed as the match that could elevate his legacy to unprecedented heights. With the crowd roaring, the tension thick, and the stakes sky high, Triple H entered the ring believing he had every advantage, including his trusted partner waiting at ringside, ready to intervene if needed. When support turns into shock, everything seemed aligned in Triple H's favor until the match reached its most crucial moment. His opponent was on the ropes, the championship within arm's reach. And then the story took a stunning twist. Instead of helping him, Stephanie made a move that blindsided everyone watching. In a moment that felt both calculated and devastating, she shifted her allegiance and made a decision that left Triple H exposed and vulnerable, unable to recover in time. A betrayal that cut deeper than any injury. The expression on Triple H's face told the entire story. This wasn't written as the reaction of a competitor angry about losing a match. It was crafted as the heartbreak of someone blindsided by the person he trusted the most. That look of disbelief and hurt added a level of emotional realism rarely seen in wrestling storylines. It struck a chord because it wasn't about a championship slipping away, but the collapse of a relationship built through years of narrative development, the method behind the moment. The storytelling made it clear that Stephanie's betrayal wasn't impulsive. Whether she provided a distraction at the wrong moment or slipped a weapon to Triple H's opponent, her actions were portrayed as intentional and decisive. Writers framed it in a way that made fans feel every ounce of the shock Triple H experienced. The creative choice to make the betrayal active rather than passive amplified its impact, leaving audiences stunned. Why Stephanie's turn hit so hard? What made the moment truly powerful was how personal it felt. Fans had watched Triple H and Stephanie stand united through numerous story arcs. They had weathered storms, battles, rivalries, and always together. To see one turn on the other in such a painful way struck deeply, pulling viewers into the emotional center of the narrative. It was a reminder of how wrestling storylines can blend drama, character depth, and emotional resonance. The weeks of tension that led to the collapse. Looking back within the story, it was clear the writers had been building this moment for weeks. Stephanie's impatience during interviews, her disagreements with Triple H's increasingly aggressive methods, her frustration with his need for control, all created a believable slow burn. The pressure built until it erupted at the worst possible time for Triple H, adding layers to the betrayal instead of presenting it as a sudden twist. Triple H's painful aftermath. The aftermath was one of the most emotionally striking moments of the entire storyline. Triple H didn't lash out or seek immediate revenge. Instead, he sat in the ring, exhausted, stunned, and visibly heartbroken. It was rare to see such vulnerability in a character defined by strength and calculation, and that contrast made the scene unforgettable. For the first time in years, fans saw the game truly shaken. Stephanie's conflicting emotions. While Stephanie's actions were cold and deliberate, the story presented her as conflicted afterward. She stood by the ramp, her posture rigid, but her expression betraying a hint of regret. The creative choice to portray her as torn, not heartless, added depth to her character. It suggested she believed this was the right move, even if it was painful. That emotional nuance made the betrayal more layered and compelling. Triple H speaks with honesty instead of fury. In the interviews that followed, Triple H's character dropped the bravado. Instead of plotting revenge or issuing threats, he struggled to articulate what happened. His voice trembled, his usually confident demeanor replaced with confusion and hurt. He talked about trust, about unity, about everything they had built together. That raw honesty made his character more relatable than ever and elevated the storyline into emotional territory few wrestling arcs achieve, a storyline that redefined both characters. This moment became a turning point in the personas of both Triple H and Stephanie. For Triple H, it forced him into a phase of self-reflection and vulnerability, allowing writers to explore new dimensions of his character. Stephanie, now portrayed as someone who could make ruthless decisions even at personal cost, developed into a more powerful and unpredictable figure. Their trajectories changed dramatically, creating opportunities for future story arcs. Why this story remains unforgettable? Fans still talk about this storyline because it felt authentic. It tapped into real human emotions, trust, heartbreak, betrayal, in a way that transcended simple wins and losses. It reminded viewers that wrestling, at its best, is about more than athleticism. It is about storytelling that mirrors the highs and lows of life. This moment captured that beautifully, leaving a lasting imprint on fans who witnessed it. A legacy of emotion and impact. The image of Triple H sitting alone in the ring, staring at Stephanie with disbelief, has become one of the most iconic visuals in WWE storytelling. It represents the kind of emotional risk wrestling occasionally takes, exploring the fragile connections between characters. It showed that even the strongest personas can be broken in ways that no physical attack could ever accomplish. An ending that still sparks debate. Even today, fans debate whether Stephanie's actions were justified within the storyline or represent the ultimate act of betrayal. Was she reclaiming her independence or undermining the very partnership that elevated them both? The ambiguity keeps the moment alive in wrestling discussions, proving just how effective the story was.